Hello, my name is Joshua Pagan, and today we're going to be reacting to Philion versus the plus-size park hoppers. Now, full disclosure, I like Philion. I've been subscribed for a while. I'm pretty sure he doesn't agree with a lot of my life choices, but that's neither here or there. I still like his content. I don't have to agree with him 100% of the time. I don't know much about the plus-size park hoppers. I do know that they're on social media, and if I were to hop parks, I would be part of their demographic. Or in any case, here we go.
What's worse than being a Disney adult? 5 morbidly obese women who have made a business out of limit testing Disney World's rides, resources, and restaurants, as well as the internet's patience.
Well, look at what the tide washed in! For one night! And one night only!
Before anything else, it is a little cringe, but whatever.
It is the collision of two nightmarish aesthetics that makes this one of the most horrific social media accounts I've ever seen. Before we take a ride on Space Mountain and go visit Mickey Mouse in his clubhouse, we need some context as to why the plus-size park hoppers are both feared and loved by the masses. There are two types of people: Instagram Reel enjoyers and TikTok consumers. And the best way I can describe the difference is LA versus New York. Let me cook. People from LA are fake nice. They live in a delusional reality. They are opportunistic by nature and will lie to your face if it means that they can social climb. People from New York are fake mean. They have a chip on their shoulder and they'll tell you what they think. But they will actually care about you when push comes to shove. TikTok is LA. Instagram Reels is New York, which is why the comment sections on Instagram Reels are war zones. It's one big game.
Instagram is pretty ruthless with the comments, for sure.
Of letting your intrusive thoughts win, no matter how harsh the truth is.
Hey everyone, we're plus-size park hoppers. It's no secret that our comment section can be a dark place. We typically try not to give these sad, angry people the attention that they're seeking, so you won't see us reply to a ton of their comments. Other creators and even alleged comedians use our content to bully us. Comedians that probably should have spent their time more wisely, like preparing for the Tom Brady roast that they bombed on Netflix. Some people just can't think of original content. The people who hate on us do so because we are happy and it shows in our videos, whether we're at Disney World or a beach in New England. We don't make our videos for them. We make our videos for the people who are happy with their bodies and want to go places and have fun. We make our videos for the people who are in the middle of a weight loss journey and are going on a trip with their family. So grateful for this community and to be able to share our lives with you. If you're a hater and you've made it this far in the video, just know that we feel sorry for you. We know that you're not happy. We are out here having fun.
Where do I begin? So you may be wondering, what did Tom Segura have to say about the plus-size park hoppers?
I don't know why these people don't do what I did. Just feel immense shame about the way you look and feel.
We know how it feels to walk into a restaurant and only...
Okay, so I think we're about to get into the topic of body positivity overall. I don't necessarily agree with the whole message. I think you shouldn't go through life and be completely ignorant of what you're doing to yourself or your body. I think you should always have an understanding that being overweight is largely detrimental to your health long term. That being said, you can't go through your life just being unhappy until you are a certain weight. I think you definitely have to take it by steps. You know, you kind of accept the situation. You can't exactly lie about your weight, you know. I mean, for example, I went to a pool party the other day, and I didn't do the whole fucking t-shirt on the pool part, you know, thing, because I'm not fooling anyone. I am very fat. That being said, you know, I'm not gonna limit myself and not go into the pool and not have fun, whatever, just because I'm not, you know, my ideal weight. Or just because I don't look the way I feel I should. I mean, not should. Or just because I don't look the way I would like to look. But I think a lot of this, I think part of the acceptance, the way that it's being promoted, is very unhealthy. At the very least, being fat is kind of like cigarettes. Everyone knows it's not good for you. Some people will do, some people will do it willingly. They'll smoke. And some people just really can't help themselves, but they have to understand that they are choosing to partake in an activity that is not conducive to living a long time. Alternatively, I think a lot of people do suffer from food addictions, or maybe like eating disorders and stuff like that are a little bit outside of their control, but that doesn't mean that they're completely, helpless. Like everything else, you got to make a choice to be uncomfortable. You got to make a choice to do the hard thing, and I think you either live with your choices or you choose to change your lifestyle. No in between. Simple, I think.
Chairs with arms on them.
You know what you do at that point? You turn around and you leave the restaurant and you leave it for the regular folks.
Yeah, it's not for you.
You go and
this
you
is
go.
Not for you.
You go to a barn and you eat with.
Not gonna lie, chairs with arms, a little uncomfortable.
With like-sized people.
By the
Don't
way,
you hate when you see arms on a chair? What the fuck is wrong with you?
will this
Who
chair
the
hold
fuck
me?
is thinking that? There's arms here? I guess this isn't for me. Jesus Christ.
Now, the plus-size park hoppers are a group because of the fat acceptance movement. The fat acceptance movement, also known as fat pride, fat liberation, fat empowerment, and fat activism,
No, I don't stand for any of that.
is a social movement that aims to end the social stigma of obesity. The movement began in the 1960s in response to anti-fat discrimination and unhealthy societal ideals about health, dieting, and beauty. It seeks to promote equality for fat people in all areas of life, including employment, healthcare, and education. Now, when I speak about
The only thing stopping you from working as an obese person is more than likely yourself. You may have incredibly crippling conditions due to any eating disorders or just simply ignorance. Let's go with ignorance or whatever. There's really nothing stopping you from working. I sold insurance door to door, and one of the top salesmen was a blind woman that worked remotely. She was morbidly obese as well. Like, full on, disabled with a capital D. But this woman was fucking hustling. I don't know. You can't tell me that being obese is ruining part of your life and limiting you, and then at the same time, in the same breath, saying that society should kind of accept it just how it is, when the reality is, it does take a lot of work. It takes a fuck ton of work. But you do have a choice. You have an active choice in this.
this, just know it's coming from a place of, I want you to be healthy. I don't hate you as a person. I know I have to spell that out for some absolute brainlets out there.
Thanks, Phil.
Fat acceptance is not a hill you should be dying on. Being morbidly obese ruins your life. This movement completely ignores any sense of self-agency, which is exactly why you see news articles coming out about the fitness to fascist pipeline. Does working out make you a right-winger? This is the current state of the media. The reality is, having a victim mindset is fucking cringe.
There's a whole genre of the internet now where fat people are cringe, and then people get mad at them and like, stop eating pizza. That's a whole genre. It's a whole column of online behavior now is like someone who's 700 pounds dipping a garlic breadstick into something, and then like a million comments sort of like, you're going to die. Stop doing it.
But are they wrong, though? Fat acceptance advocates, supporters, whatever you want to call them, think that fat people are incapable of not eating a Twinkie if it's placed before their eyes. And I don't know how destigmatizing being obese is going to help the obesity crisis. To them, someone is in their brain controlling them, telling them to pick it up and eat it.
I do want to say something that has helped me kind of understand my impulses to eat, those random Twinkies. It's framing it under the lens of an addiction overall. If I treat it like I'm addicted to food, it's more like I'm going to stay away from unhealthy choices, or I'm going to, severely limit my access to those things because I know I don't have the proper impulse control, or I just haven't developed that muscle where I can stop myself. The reality is, I know I'm, for example, Winn-Dixie cookies. I fucking love those things. I don't know why. I don't know if they have crack in them, but to me they're fantastic. I know I don't have the self-control to stop myself from eating them, so I just don't do it. I think it's simplifying the problem a little too much when you just say it's flat out just a choice, when the reality is there are specific impulses. Your brain, when it's on sugar and all these things, like, your food's engineered. Your food's engineered nowadays to the point where it's like you can eat a whole bag of chips, and you're not gonna feel it. It's literally designed to make you want to eat more. I can link below a video. I don't remember her name, but I'll, she's got a fantastic video about it. How food is like designed to be almost pre-digested nowadays. So it's not even like real food. That's the thing. It's engineered. You don't think about it, but it's ruining your brain chemistry. But I wouldn't be so dismissive about it. But at the same time, it is up to you, the individual, the morbidly obese person, to choose to stay away from those things. Whether it's little by little or cold turkey or whatever, you do have to make a choice.
Nutrition, but we live in 2024 and there is such thing as the internet and self-education, but no.
Yes, but there's a lot of information out there that is a little tricky. If you stick to the fundamentals, you will progress. Calorie deficit, move. I don't think you can go wrong with those basic two. And then everything else, just trial and error, honestly. Because there's a lot of information out there that's just it's gonna give you analysis paralysis. Just start with one thing, one singular change, and then keep building from there. Rome wasn't built in a day. These things are day by day, step by step. Most of the time, if you try to make an extreme change overnight, you're gonna fail within a week, or within a month or whatever. But if you make little changes over time, you might actually have a better chance of succeeding and maintaining that change over the long term. Maybe I could talk about my experiences next time.
No, personally, I think being fat is not a personality trait, and everyone should strive to be the healthiest versions of themselves. We're living in a time where the laws of thermodynamics are placed to the side, while we coddle and comfort absolute humongous gargantuan obese people who are slowly dying. There's this crazy, magical even mechanism known as a calorie deficit. When you burn more calories than you consume, and guess what happens? You lose weight. It's nothing new, you don't have to pay for it, and many people have accomplished it. And you would be surprised at how small changes can lead to drastic results. But that is way too much to ask for fat acceptance people. To them, these ham planets are a disabled, protected class of society, and they should be applauded for their bravery of consuming more than they need. And calling yourself plus size when you're on the brink of passing out after light physical activity is a bit of a stretch. What pisses me off about the plus-sized park hoppers is the entitlement. Society has to bow down and provide for them. For example, did you know that if you're fat enough, you can get a free extra seat on a plane?
No. Can you? I don't know. That's pretty crazy to me.
Have you been dying to fly in an airplane, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? Hey everyone, we're plus size park hoppers, and we range in sizes from 2X to 5X. Make sure you like this video and follow us for more plus size tips and tricks. Flying as a plus size person can cause a lot of anxiety. Between worrying about if the seats are too narrow,
Believe me, I'm the one with the anxiety.
Fun fact, not too long ago, I went on a trip to Mexico, and I initially had anxiety about the chairs, and I didn't need any special treatment. I didn't need nothing. No extension, no nothing. I felt pretty good.
Is this plane gonna go down? How is this a crazy idea? If you can't fit in the goddamn airplane, you shouldn't be up in the air in the first place.
I disagree.
That your body will extend over the arms of the chair, you are able to book an extra seat and you will get refunded for it after your flight.
It shouldn't be for free, though.
When you get to the airport, you print your boarding pass as you normally would. You will get 2 boarding passes, one for you and one to display on your extra seat. This will let other people know that that seat is reserved. When you book an extra seat, you automatically get pre-board. And this is to ensure that you and your extra seat can sit together.
You get priority boarding? Imagine getting your legs blown off by an IED in Afghanistan and the fat girls get to board before you.
When your trip is completed, you can call Southwest and they will either refund the points that you paid or the cost of the second ticket.
So I can put that I'm fat when buying a ticket and get an extra seat? What are they gonna do when I show up? Tell me I'm not fat enough? Y'all should fly FedEx or UPS. The cost of your free seat is passed on to all other flyers.
That is true. That's why it shouldn't be free. I didn't agree with the initial point of if you don't fit, you can't, you shouldn't be up in the air. Mostly because, again, you shouldn't be limiting yourself. You shouldn't be limiting your experiences due to your size. Because it's actually getting out in the world that's gonna kind of inspire you to actually take initiative and keep doing things. One of my personal goals in losing weight is to be able to go to Universals. I don't really have an issue going to Disney parks, but at Universal, kind of rides are a little bit tighter, a little bit more compressed. So I didn't fit. I don't know about now. It's been a while, but I'm working down to be at a personal weight where I don't even have to think about that. I don't think Universal has to rework their whole system just so that I can go enjoy myself. But it does serve as a motivator for me to actually get out there and do things. To actually move and actually lose weight and have a healthy lifestyle. Definitely that cost of the free seat or having that kind of thing implemented will be passed on to others that, maybe already went through the journey themselves and now they're paying double. Or maybe they were never in that position in the first place, but now they have to pick up the slack for you. Kind of, pun intended, I guess.
These people don't want to change. You know how I know that? It's because they're economically incentivized to stay fat. Plus-sized park hoppers. It's in the name. They're not the normal-sized park hoppers. If I fits, I sits. This is their restaurant segment where they review the accessibility for their fatness, the food, and the service of the dining experiences.
Have you ever been seated at a restaurant and found that you couldn't fit comfortably in the seat or booth? Hey everyone, we're plus-size park hoppers, and we range in sizes from 2X to 5X. Our goal is to help you feel more at ease and to show you that there are accommodations out there. With one of us being gluten-free, we'll also highlight the gluten-free options throughout these restaurants. We'll rate each restaurant on comfort, atmosphere, food, and drinks.
The Disney food kind of sucks. They have to cook so many portions at the same time that at the end of it, I feel like the quality suffers. So it's not. I don't know why anyone would pay $60 a plate or $50 a plate just, for a mouse-shaped anything. I'm not saying that I don't enjoy Disney when we go, but I typically try not to eat at Disney.
And we hope that you are too.
My Amish friend that doesn't have the internet or electricity wanted me to tell you he hates you. At what point do you say, I need to change my lifestyle? You don't! What did I say? You just gotta listen to me because I'm onto some groundbreaking developments. You don't feel shame if you're too fat. You forget that other people are on this planet when you become the planet. Second of all, Disney World food should not be called food. It's consumer slop. Precisely designed and engineered to keep you in a haze of confusion and lethargy as you duck waddle from park to park, soy-facing at the different furries.
Have you been dying to eat at Crystal Palace at Disney World's Magic Kingdom, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? On this episode of If I Fit, I Sits, we dine with Pooh and Friends at Crystal Palace. This is a buffet-style restaurant where you can meet Pooh, Tigger, Eeyore, and Piglet. The star of this show were the Mickey Churro waffles. They were incredible. They tasted just like a churro, but in Mickey form, which obviously makes it better. This buffet includes so many different kinds of foods, from fruits to omelets to even salmon. There really are options for everybody.
Salmon. Salmon. Salmon? Salmon. Salmon. Can I get the salmon? Salmon. Salmon. No.
Ashley got the roast beef hash and said it was very flavorful. The frittatas were delicious too. They had a Mediterranean one and a ham and cheese one with peppers. And of course, they had delicious bacon, which seems kind of wrong because Piglet's there. I think that this restaurant would be a great option for families with picky eaters. They even have gluten-free pastries for our friend Katie.
Sugar-covered fried dough slathered in butter. I wonder why I'm plus-sized. It's just a plate of the fastest carbs known to mankind. Disney World has got to be the worst place on this earth for dietary regulation. You shouldn't be allowed in the park if you don't fit through the gates. We should just ban all of the fat scooters. That is ableist against people who actually have disabilities, which is why it's heaven on earth for the park-sized plus hoppers. If I'm being real, Disney World is the obesity Ouroboros. You're never going to change your behavior when you're limiting yourself to overpriced, deep-fried, calorically dense carnival food.
Have you been dying to eat at the Plaza restaurant at Disney World's Magic Kingdom, but you weren't sure if you'd fit?
So this is what they mean by Disney Plus.
On this episode of If I Fits, I Sits, we had lunch at the Plaza restaurant located on Main Street in Magic Kingdom. We were a little leery at first because our table seemed really small, but it did work out.
I hope they accommodated you.
The inside of this restaurant is much smaller than we expected, but it didn't feel too crowded. And it has an amazing view of Cinderella's castle, and it doesn't get better than that. The menu includes some super simple lunch options, and nothing
Loving the Art Nouveau.
was really unique or crazy. We all started out with milkshakes because if you can have your dessert first, why not?
Is this satire? Please let this be satire. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Katie got strawberry and the rest of us got chocolate. These were incredible. Just look how happy I look. Ashley and Sarah both started out with the loaded baked potato soup. It was good, but nothing spectacular. Deanna started with the onion rings and she loved them so much she even used them as a monocle. Katie started with the cheese fries, which are on the gluten-free menu.
Oh, thank God.
$10 for onion rings and $15 for fries. No gracias.
I was starting to worry.
She said they were pretty good. For entree, Ashley and Sarah both got the triple-decker turkey club sandwich. They said it was flavorful and Ashley really liked the lemon mayo.
Those are the saddest fries I've ever seen.
It's not like we don't know why they're obese. The proof is in the pudding, literally.
They should be allowed to eat whatever they want.
They are going to die. In a study titled Body Mass Index and All-Cause Mortality, the risk of all-cause mortality was elevated by 21 to 108% among participants with a BMI above 30. That's often glossed over in the fat acceptance movement. These people are slowly killing themselves from gluttony. In fact, I would argue that people who call out other people on their bullshit actually care more about the well-being of the people rather than those who enable them and encourage this shitty behavior.
Have you been dying to ride Flight of Passage at Disney World, but you weren't sure if you'd fit? Deanna asked the cast member if she could try the test seat, and he was super accommodating. He said that she's mostly in the green, so she should be fine. 3 out of 5 of us can ride this ride comfortably. The 3 of us are sizes 2X and 3X. So unfortunately, if you wear a size 4X or larger, or have bigger legs, you might have a more difficult time.
For normal people, if you can't fit on the ride due to your body composition, it should be a wake-up call. How do you go through life just ignoring the problem? I understand.
He actually has a point because one of my major flags that I realized this wasn't a joke anymore was going to Universal Studios and Island of Adventure and not being able to ride pretty much anything. I think the only thing I could do was Kong Island or whatever the hell that was. Maybe 1 or 2 more things that were a little bit on the low-key side, but I couldn't do any of the Harry Potter, any of the fun ones. I couldn't do. So that's kind of one of the things that helped me kind of like realize I need to change something, anything. But I think I just couldn't remain the same.
And why this makes people irrationally angry. And it's not that those critical of this are sad, lonely, depressed people who spread hate in the comment sections in order to feel good about themselves. It's that they're being served the most spiritually ugly, soul-sucking content that reminds them of their own mortality, and that they're sharing this world with people who get special treatment for being morbidly obese.
In short, I think these girls are having a lot of fun. I think they're doing something that could benefit a lot of people who are really trying to get out there. Where I disagree overall is with the movement itself. I didn't really see anything from the girls' parts that I was overtly against. Like I mentioned, I really don't agree with the fat acceptance movement. I believe in a form of body positivity where, listen, it's yours. If you're happy where you're at, great, but you can't neglect the fact that you are actively destroying your life and destroying your quality of life if you are above a certain BMI. Being overweight isn't exactly, healthy. And I don't think anyone should call it healthy. I think you can happen to be healthy. For example, all my biomarkers are great. Anytime I do blood work or anything like that, it's fantastic. But I can tell you, even if it doesn't reflect in those biomarkers, I can tell you that I'm genuinely unhealthy. I can't move the way I want to move. I can't do the things I want to do. I can't partake in a lot of activities because it's very limiting. Not to mention that if you happen to catch me on a particularly bad day, that insecurity can really fuck with you, and it can really fuck with your enjoyment of just life in general. But the girls are having fun. Honestly, I think some people can get some value out of it. Philion, great as always. I enjoy, his content. What do you think? Let me know down below. Also, if you've been here before, you may notice things are a little bit different. I decided to buy this little slop explorer. I decided to change things up, try a different format, and just something that's a little bit more fun. So yeah, let me know what you think, and until next time.